What's up, NFL fans? I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and don't forget to check out and purchase your copy of our latest football game plan book, Stiff Arming Football Myths. We have these available in both PDF and paperback form. Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you my 2015 NFL Draft Prospect Rankings video. We're taking a look at the wide receiver position. We're going to look at my top 10, some small school prospects, as well as some sleepers that you want to keep an eye on. First, let's take a look at what goes into my prospect rankings. Number one, it's a trait focus base instead of a level of competition base. I don't care where you play, traits translate. Now look at 3 games: your best game, player's worst game, and also the best matchup and or competition. And finally, these are not indicative of where I believe these players will actually go in April's draft. And this year, we're going to rate the receivers in a different way. We're going to grade the prospects and rank them according to the best position fit at the next level, whether or not they're a split receiver or X, a flanker or a Z, slot, which could be either a Y or S, depending if the tight end is on the field. The slot back is what it is called in Canadian football, but we're going to call it the F position, which is your 4th receiver, and your utility player, which could be your 5th wide receiver. Dres Anderson at 6'2", 190 out of Utah has tremendous speed and also provides great value as not only a kickoff returner but also as a punt returner. Now for his receiving skills, he can definitely catch the football, but he has to get stronger. His routes have to clean up a little bit. I do grade him out as a 5th round prospect. He's coming off that ACL injury, but I look at Ted Ginn as a good comparison for Anderson's game. I think he provides a lot of value as your 4th or 5th wide receiver because of the way he can win one-on-one in space. Trevor Harmon out of Shippensburg is a very fluid athlete, which allows him to get in and out of his brace rather quickly. He has very good hands as well. Now, he must get stronger, and he can get big boyed in his routes. He's the nephew of Arizona Cardinals head coach Bruce Arians. I think this guy has tremendous game. I would utilize him more on the outside, and if I had to compare his game to someone, it would be that of Marvin Jones, who plays for the Cincinnati Bengals. Marquez Clark out of Central Oklahoma is a guy that has great acceleration and burst. He has the kickoff return skills, which should help him stick or find a home very early in the league. He makes contested catches. He tracks the ball well. I think his route running skills is top notch. Now, he has to get stronger, and he's a marginal rack guy. He tends to go down upon first contact. Those things will have to improve as he makes a transition from Division II to the NFL. There's a lot to like about Poppy Liver's game out of Villanova at 5'7", 170. He's a solid all-around player that does bring excellent value as a returner. Now, what you do like about his game is that he can catch the football in traffic, and once he gets that football in his hands, he'll always make the first guy miss. That's an uncoachable trait, and Liver's stop-and-go suddenness makes him a dangerous guy in a short-to-quick passing game. Now, he does have enough to make an NFL roster, and his ability to stick will come as a consistent threat in the return game. Now, as a receiver, I do like his ability as a 4th option in a pro spread attack. I'm a big fan of Kasen Williams out of Washington at 6'2", 219 pounds. This is a guy that was a highly decorated high school recruit and also had an excellent week of practice down at the East-West Shrine game this year. He has very good quicks. He doesn't mind going over the middle of the field. He's physical, and he also has very good hands. Now, he has an extensive injury history, and that's what you worry about this guy moving forward. Can he stay healthy for a full season? And his routes can be a bit sloppy at times, which is why I graded him down so low. But I think he has probably one of the biggest upsides in the draft because of what he brings to the table from a skills standpoint. Andre Davis out of South Florida has good hands and will sacrifice for the catch, and he also blocks very well. He has the good size that you look for at 6'1", 207. Now, he's not a smooth athlete, and he can be too mechanical at times, and he lacks explosiveness as a player, but overall, I think he has solid enough skill set, and I would compare his game to Dontrell Inman that plays for the San Diego Chargers. Kenny Bell was a tremendous player for the Nebraska Cornhuskers throughout the course of his career. Fun player to watch, a guy that plays a game with a childlike exuberance, and you have to love that about a player. Special teams value is definitely there. He shows a willingness to sacrifice for the catch over the middle of the field. He also has good athleticism and gets a good release off the line of scrimmage, and he was highly productive. You can't knock that about his game. Now, he tends to double catch the football a lot, and he's not overly strong. You want to see him get a little bit more stronger at the next level. He has marginal change of direction skills. And I would compare his game to Devere Posey of the Houston Texans, and I would also utilize him more on the inside as opposed to out wide. Cam Worthy out of East Carolina has very good size at 6'2", 220 pounds. He has very good body control. He attacks the ball at the highest point, and he's a very strong runner after the catch. No one will want to tackle him at the next level. He brings that type of physicality to the game. Now, he has marginal quickness, and he tends to tip off certain routes like your comebacks and curls. If he can become a little bit more consistent in that area, he again is another one of these players that has tremendous upside. Donatello Luckett out of Harding at 5'11", 200 pounds is a physical player. He played in a triple option offense. Now, while he does have a track background, he doesn't play fast and doesn't play explosive, but with the football in his hands, no one wants to tackle him, and I think he will do a great job starting out on special teams and also being an inside receiver, almost like a pseudo F position at the next level. I got the chance to see Mike Doty out of Westchester live versus East Stroudsburg, and I came away highly impressed with his ability to catch the football in traffic. He's not afraid of bodies around him, and he's able to zero in on the reception. Now, his route running is also solid, being able to snap in and out of his breaks quickly to make himself open. He's a big-bodied wide receiver that could excel on the outside or as well as in the slot. I think he'll get into an NFL camp and turn some heads. If not, he'll do a great job north of the border in the CFL, or a league like the FXFL would also do him a lot of good going up against higher and more consistent cornerback talent. Another player I got the chance to see live this year was Geremy Davis out of UConn at 6'3", 216 pounds. And for a guy that's 6'3", he has very fluid hips and body control. I like to see him get a little bit stronger, and at times during his route, the defensive back was able to give him a subtle chuck, and it dramatically altered his momentum. You want to see him to be able to power through that contact. I think he has very good speed, and I wouldn't necessarily say he's a burner, but he's a solid 4 or 5 guy. Now, when you look at the game, it was raining, so from the few opportunities he had to catch the football, you can see that he's able to catch away from his body while also understanding body positioning. Shadon Keanu out of Weber State has very good footwork. He runs crisp routes. He also has above average hands and the punt return skills you want to see from a guy at 5'10", 180 pounds. Now, he's not much of a run after the catch guy. He'll catch the football and go down easily. He has to be able to break tackles at the next level if he wants to stick. Devin Gardner out of Michigan played some receiver while in college, but then made the move exclusively to quarterback. Now he's making a switch back to wide receiver. The one thing you can say about this guy, he's coachable and has a great attitude. Now, he has a good athleticism and is also a very solid route runner for a guy that hasn't played a lot of snaps at receiver. He has good initial quickness off the ball. Now, he's as raw can be. He has to learn the little nuances of playing the position, but he also shows a willingness to play special teams, which is why I believe he'll have a chance to stick at the next level. Tyler Rutenbeck out of Dubuque at 6'4", 185 has a good frame, and he was very productive while in college. He can track the football very well and contorts his body to make the grab, and that's all you want to see from a guy with his frame. Now, he does at times play like he's 6'1". Instead of 6'5", he has to go up and get the football. He can't play like he's a shorter guy. He doesn't high point like you'd expect, and his routes have to be a little bit more crisp at the next level. Jake Kumro out of Wisconsin Whitewater at 6'4", 205. He understands body positioning and he utilizes his frame very well. He can definitely play above the rim, but he has marginal athleticism and he doesn't have the explosiveness off the ball to play on the outside as a pro. I do think he can have a productive career as an inside receiver. Vernon Johnson out of Texas A&M Commerce rounds out our list. Here's a guy that has good athleticism and acceleration. He's able to maintain speed while changing direction, which is huge, and he also has the added value of being a kickoff returner. Now, his routes need a little bit more work. He has to add bulk because he doesn't get off press very well and can be redirected easily by defensive backs, but I will compare his game to Clyde Gates and what he brings to the table as a receiver and also as a special teamer. Now let's recap my 2015 NFL Draft prospect rankings for the receiver position. We're looking at the U receiver or the fifth wide receiver. These are guys that will probably make more of an impact early on as special teamers as they get a little bit more polished and what they bring to the table as receivers. Dres Anderson is the highest rated prospect being a 5th round graded prospect this year. You look at the 3 6th round graded prospect Poppy Livers out of Villanova. You also look at Trevor Harmon out of Shippensburg, powerhouse Division II program, and also a guy in Marquez Clark out of Central Oklahoma. There's a ton of talent on this list, and these guys, I believe, definitely have skill set and they have the talent to play as professionals.